Hello, everyone. So we'll begin now. A very warm welcome to all of you for joining us today. So, as you all know, my name is Kautu Kastu. I'm a member of Trans Dimensions Student Club of ISC Bangalore. And it's great to have you all with us again. And thank you all for taking your time to be part of this shared journey. So, today we arrive at day 8 of our 18-day Gita reading series. But before we begin, let's move uh, into chapter 7 recap. So, yesterday we understood that real wisdom comes from lived experience, not just information we all do in real life. We also reflected that behind nature, talent, and intelligence lies a higher source, Lord Krishna, and that turning to the Lord in difficulty is growth, not weakness. And lastly, we saw that material success without a spiritual clarity feels incompatible. And true knowledge begins when ego gives way to surrender. So that was a quick recap for last session. And we'll begin today's session with a survey and then followed by a short case study. So here's a question for you. How many of you believe in incarnation, reincarnation? You can raise your hand or type yes or no in the chat box. Do you believe in reincarnation? Reincarnation, sorry. You can type yes or no based on your preference. Nobody would like to present his opinion. Okay, so I think then we'll proceed. So let me help you by giving you a case study. Is this reincarnation theory true or false? So you decide by yourself. We'll have a case study then. So can we have the next slide, please? So here's a case study for you. Indian real life reincarnation case study. This is not some foreign story, some fiction. No. So you see two people here. One on the left side, you'll see Lugdi Devi, and another one is a Santi Devi. So how are they related? So in 1930s in New Delhi, so there was a girl in 1926, a girl born. The name was Santi Devi. But when she turns at the age of 3, she started speaking. Till at the age of 3, she didn't say the word. So she started speaking of her past life. And at the age of 4, she claimed that she is already married and she lives in Mathura. Her home was in Mathura. New Delhi is not her home, and the current mother of Santi Devi is not her actual mother. So her parents were like somewhat shocked, somewhat ignored her. So, but the true turning point in the story comes when she, as Santi Devi, she born in a non-vegetarian family, of meat eating. But when she was given the non-veg food, she firmly refused the food. She said, "No, I want vegetables. I want sattvic food. I can't take." So her mother was shocked. She's like, "This sattvic word. This word was like at that time nobody was using this word. Like not even in a family in New Delhi. How did this 4-year-old girl knows the word sattvic? So how is this possible? How is this happened? She just a 3-4-year-old girl. She claims that she's someone else. She knows sattvic word and she remember everything. How is this even possible? So this is possible. Krishna explains this, and this is just one of the effect of law of last thought. So today we'll discuss the law of last thought. We'll discuss how our daily consciousness shapes our final movement, how small habits quietly build our destiny. We'll discuss how spiritual practice prepares us for life's uncertainties. So, are you guys ready to sincerely engage with today's discussion? You can give up a thumbs up. Beautiful. So, we'll begin now. So, With that intention, it is my great pleasure to invite our esteemed speaker of the series, Sri Vigradas Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Kautuk. Very nice
Yeah,
case study that you presented.
thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, so let's talk about the law of last thought. Well, let's begin with prayers. Prayers will be displayed on the screen. I request you to please join along with me. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the eighth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is entitled Attaining the Supreme. We have been discussing in the previous chapters of Bhagavad Gita that our real identity is that we are not our changing bodies. We are the soul within our body. Soul is eternal. It is not born, nor does it die, unlike the body. So the soul is right now, the Bhagavad Gita says, is stuck in the cycle of birth and death. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. Again and again taking birth, again and again dying, and again entering another mother's womb. This has been the journey of the souls in this material world. But in this chapter, Lord Krishna interestingly talks about the dynamics at the time of death. What exactly happens at the time of death? Why are we taking new bodies? Is there a way to get out of this repetition of endless cycle of birth and death? All these interesting topics Lord Krishna talks about in this eighth chapter. So let's begin. The first point is daily focus decides your destiny. Habits build your final mindset. Imagine you're preparing for an examination. You've been preparing it for 6 months, and finally, at the end of 6 months, you're supposed to write the exam. You know before in hand the date of the exam, the venue where it's going to happen. You also know the syllabus, so you have been preparing from the past 6 or 7 months. Now, throughout these 6 or 7 months of preparation, whatever you do, however you practice, to what extent you take it seriously and practice, that is going to have an impact on those 2 or 3 hours of your examination performance, isn't it? If you are very focused, you're making sure that you don't leave any topics uncovered. Every day you utilize properly, you will be able to see that you have more confidence while preparing, while giving the exam, and you will also fare well in your exam. On the other hand, if you are not very focused throughout your 6 or 7 months of preparation, academic term, and you just try to go through the syllabus, go through your textbook probably a day or two before the exam, first of all, you will have a lot of nervousness, and you will also be not so confident, and your performance will also not be so good. That means A student, throughout his or her academic term, how he or she is going to prepare, how is he going to approach the subject, that is going to decide his or her performance in the final exam. In the same way, Lord Krishna compares our entire lifetime to an academic term, and our entire preparation is, it is judged, or it is tested. A better word is tested at the time of death. So death is like an exam which all of us have to face. And unlike our university examinations, which are announced well in advance, this exam called death is a surprise test. It can come anytime, anywhere, in any circumstance. So, Lord Krishna says, you need to prepare for this final exam very, very seriously with utmost focus. So, whatever mindset you are cultivating, how are we cultivating our mindset? It's based on our habits, our daily activities. So, what kind of activities we are doing daily in our life, that is going to impact our overall mindset and consciousness, and that is going to decide our future. So, human form of life is a responsible life, and we need to lead this life with the wisdom of the Vedic knowledge, or the Bhagavad Gita, which is the essence of all the Vedic knowledge, and cultivate the right mindset, build spiritual consciousness. And that is what Lord Krishna talks about in this chapter. So we need to, on a daily basis, abhyasa. Remember in the sixth chapter when Arjuna said it is so difficult to control the mind, Krishna acknowledged the fact, and Krishna also said, by constant practice of meditation, by constant cultivation of spiritual understanding, and by detachment, one will be able to have control over his or her mind. So, in this chapter, also, Lord Krishna says, Abhyasa, constantly practice remembering me, Krishna says. So, he says, Tasyaham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yoginaha. A person who actually practices remembering God while he is hale and healthy throughout his life, such a person very easily can attain the supreme. It's not that we have to keep aside 24 hours, the whole day we need to do. No. Lord Krishna says, as much as possible, remember me and make this as your habit. And in our Indian culture, it is a practice to name children after God, right? We generally have names of God, Krishna, Rama, like this. Why? Why do we why do we name children after God? Because you get an opportunity to chant the holy names of God. Even when you're addressing, you're calling others, you're calling your children, calling your brother, sister. And this becomes a habit to chant the holy name. And uh, that is going to enhance our consciousness. So our daily focus decides our destiny, and habits build our final mindset. So, ante Narayana smritihi, it is said. At the time of death, if somebody is able to remember God and quit his body, he will attain the supreme destination. So we need to uh, plan our daily life in such a way that considerable amount of time we spend remembering our relationship with God. How how do we do that? I'm sorry. So how do we do that? Simplest process is to chant the holy names, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Besides that, we can also spend time reading the scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, hearing from devotees about Krishna, when and doing some simple puja at home where we offer flower or some water or whatever we cook at home, we offer to God, express our gratitude. So these are the spiritual habits which we can practice on a daily basis, and this will enhance the consciousness of the person, the soul, and going this will enhance and this will help the person attain the supreme destination in life. Let's go to the second point, which is stressed in this chapter. Spiritual practice is preparation, not escapism from life. A higher purpose gives direction even in uncertain times. So we need to cultivate spiritual consciousness, I said. And how do we cultivate spiritual consciousness? By practicing certain spiritual activities on a daily basis. And these spiritual activities, these practices are actually preparation for the soul to attain a higher level of consciousness so that we can actually pass the final surprise test called death. So many times people think spirituality is simply about some set of beliefs, or some people think spirituality is escapism from reality. But no, a real spiritualist, according to the Bhagavad Gita understanding, is not escaping the reality, but he is preparing himself to face reality with confidence and courage. So, just like athletes, they train throughout the year. It's not that only when they're going to perform or when they're going to represent their state or country in some national, international level that they're going to start preparations. There is something called Yuddha Kale Shastrabhyasa. This is a Sanskrit proverb which says that Yuddha Kala, when the war is declared, then if the warriors start their preparations, training to fight the war, so you can take it for granted that they're not going to return alive from the battlefield. Whereas a real warrior, whether it is wartime or peacetime, he is always preparing himself. He's always working on his fitness, his war skills. In the same way, Lord Krishna says a real spiritualist is one who is always ready. He is always preparing to attain spiritual consciousness, right? So in the just like an athlete trains throughout the year, not just a few days or a few minutes, few seconds before his performance, in the same way spiritual habits, cultivating spiritual habits, prepare us to face pressure situations in life. For example, there may be a failure in our academics or in our career, or there may be some unpalatable situations where we break down emotionally. Say, for instance, uh, somebody is going through a breakup in his or her relationships. So it is a very emotionally draining situation. But if such a person has a daily routine of sadhana, sadhana means daily spiritual practice, then he or she can actually face such difficult circumstances in a very, very positive manner without actually undergoing a breakdown. So, therefore, right from the age of 5 years, this is what is the advice of the Vedic scriptures. Kaumara acharet prajno dharman bhagavatan iha. It is advised in the Vedic scriptures that right from the age of 5 years, a human being must be trained in sadhana bhakti, in spiritual activities, so that it becomes part of his or her daily routine. And he or she can be very, very strong as an individual because a spiritual person can be very strong, as I discussed. And also, he is also preparing for the final exam called death. And that is So the law of last thought, Lord Krishna talks about in this chapter. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. O Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, whatever state of being one remembers while quitting one's body, that state one will attain without fail. So Lord Krishna advises, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. O Arjuna, your duty is to fight, to do yuddha. Therefore, what you should do, sarveshu kaleshu, at all times, mam anusmara, think of me. Krishna is saying this in plain words. Be conscious of me while you are executing your daily duties. So this is a very, very important core principles, one of the core principles that Krishna repeats again and again in the Bhagavad Gita. Mat chitta satatam bhava. Always be conscious of me. You belong to me, Krishna says. We have an eternal relationship. Do not forget that. Be conscious of this always. This is a very, very important principle. So, this is also the principle of chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Why do we insist? Why is the scriptures insisting that we should chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? Because by chanting the holy names, we are getting connected with Krishna. We become conscious of our relationship with Krishna, which is actually the most important achievement of human life. What is the, in one line, if you have to say, what is the achievement? When is a human being said to be successful? A human being is said to be successful in his or her life if he or she is able to revive his or her relationship with Krishna. So that is the central point in the Bhagavad Gita. Now, coming to the last point, remembering Lord Krishna brings clarity, courage, and peace. Now, we all must have heard this phrase, God is great. We all say God is great. But we should also know how great is God. Simply saying God is great, theoretically, is not sufficient. One must, first of all, understand the greatness of Krishna through the pages of Bhagavad Gita and the Vedic scriptures. And then one should actually apply himself to the process of Bhakti Yoga and then get practical realization of how God is great. Now, example for this is Prahalada. As you can see in this picture, Prahalada was just a 5-year-old boy, but he heard about Krishna, about Lord Vishnu, when he was in the womb of his mother from the great pure devotee Narad Muni. So, because of his hearing, Prahalada was born with devotion to the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. So always he was remembering the Lord. And his father Hiranyakashipu somehow had this notion that Lord Vishnu is his enemy. He was hating Lord Vishnu to the core. He had forcibly stopped people from worshipping Lord Vishnu or chanting his holy names. But in his own house, his own son could not be stopped. So when he was told, when this boy was told by his father, stop chanting the name of Lord Vishnu, he did not, he did not heed to his order. Instead, he continued to chant. Then Hiranyakashipu literally threatened the boy, and he was actually subjected to so many different kinds of punishments. But in all situations, this Prahalada was, you know, fearless. He did not tell his father, okay, don't drop me from the top of this hill, father. I will stop chanting. I will stop remembering Lord Vishnu. Please save my life. No, because he had complete clarity that only God decides when I'm going to die. I am under God's protection. And God is not ordinary. Lord Vishnu is not an ordinary person. He is very powerful. Just by his wish, he has brought about this entire universe into existence. In the Vedas, it is described. Sa Aikshata, the Supreme Lord just glanced upon the material nature, and by his glance, the material nature set into motion and the process of creation began. That is the power of a mere glance of the Supreme Lord. So, how powerful he is. So, when I am under his care, nobody can harm me. So, it brought clarity, it brought courage. So we can face the greatest difficulties in life if we connect with Krishna, if we depend on Krishna, if we understand that Krishna is my supreme protector, and automatically there will be peace. Prahalada was smiling amidst all those dangerous difficulties that he was going through. He was peaceful. In fact, the very name Prahalada means Prakrishta Rupena Ahlada iti Prahalada. Ahlada means joy. Prakrishta Rupena means joy to the superlative degree. He was always joyful. He was always in peace because he knew this one principle. What is that? Rakhe Krishna Mare Ke. Mare Krishna Rakhe Ke. If Krishna decides to kill me, no one can save me. And on the contrary, if Krishna decides to protect me, no one can harm me. This is the principle which made this 5-year old boy fearless. You see? So, remembering the Lord and as much as possible, constantly remembering Him through so many ways. Right? In the 7th chapter, Krishna says, when you see the sun and the moon, you remember that the light of the sun and the moon is me. That means through various simple observations around us, if we can remember the Lord, we don't have to do big tapasya. We don't have to go through so much of all, study of the entire Vedas. No, when you are drinking water, Krishna says, "Rasoham apsu kaunteya." O son of Kunti, whenever you are drinking water, remember that the taste of that water, that quality of water which has the ability to quench your thirst, it is me, it is Krishna. So, through our daily activities, through our daily, observations around us, we can remember the Lord. So, this is called Krishna consciousness. So, when you remember the Lord, immediately you get assurance that my Lord is there to protect me. Many times we go to God and give a list of big problems. Oh God, I have this problem, I have that problem, I have this problem. Instead of telling God how big your problem is, tell your problems how big the Lord is, how powerful He is. So, understanding properly about Krishna brings in this self confidence, this brings clarity. Whatever I am doing, Krishna is there with me. He is watchful, He is watching, and He will help me. This kind of a positivity will develop when we become Krishna conscious. So, therefore, the best way to become Krishna conscious, the best way to remember the Lord always is to chant His holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, if we practice chanting the holy names throughout our life, when we are hale and healthy, when our body and mind are in good state, then by the Lord's blessings, we can remember Him at the final moments of our life, and that will put an end to the repetition of the cycle of birth and death. That will give us entry into our final destination, where there is eternal life full of knowledge and bliss. So, many times people think, one last point I will say, many times people think, oh, always these people say you will get liberation. You chant the name of God. After death, you will go to God and all of that. What is the guarantee? Who has seen there? Who has gone there and come back and told? Okay, if that is the argument, then even while a devotee is leading his life in this world, forget about liberation. Okay, somebody may say, I don't have belief. What's going to happen after that? Death. But by becoming Krishna conscious, by enhancing our consciousness to the spiritual consciousness, even while living in this world, we can lead a higher quality life. By becoming Krishna conscious, you can easily get rid of bad habits and addictions. You can lead a life with pure mind, pure thoughts. The food that you eat will be pure. The thoughts will be pure. Your actions will be pure. You're not going to harm anybody. You see how this is called pure life, pure living. Even while living in this world, so we can be peaceful, happy, truly satisfied. That is the message of Lord Krishna, right? This Krishna consciousness process. So therefore, this is not it's not a post-dated check. Oh, you do something today, you chant Krishna's name, after some death you will get something. No, that you can see now only. When you chant Hare Krishna, even in this lifetime, you will see how you get clarity, you get courage, peace, and happiness, and you can beam out happiness. You can be a source of happiness to people around you. So, therefore, let us now remember the Lord, connect to the Lord by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for 1 minute. I request all of you to please join us for the mantra meditation. First, we will be chanting the invocation prayer, also known as the Pancha Tattva mantra, one time. It's displayed on the screen. Please join along with me. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Now we shall chant the Hare Krishna mantra together for 11 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Okay, thank you so much for chanting along with me. I request you to please chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day. There are no hard and fast rules for chanting. Anytime, anywhere, you can chant. Even if you're not taken bath, you can chant. So any time of the day you can chant. So please do chant the Hare Krishna mantra and instantly connect with the Lord. So tomorrow we are going to talk about the ninth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and Lord Krishna is answering this very interesting question in this chapter. Does God play favorites? Right? It's a very interesting question. We'll talk about it not tomorrow, sorry, on Monday. Monday, Feb 9 at 8:45 p.m. Please do join us. We are going to discuss interesting points from the ninth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, which is called the most confidential knowledge. And after that, this Friday, that is tomorrow, we are having a special session in the IAC campus based on Shikshashtakam, the prayers offered by Lord Chaitanya. The theme of tomorrow's discussion will be the only desire, how to purify our desires. We're going to talk about this. Please do come and join us for this session at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow in TMC Hall, first floor. And on Saturday, we are going to have another interesting spiritual get together of the Trans Dimensions Club. conducted by the Trans-Dimension Students Club in the IISc campus. It's going to be at 7 p.m. in Sarvam Complex, second floor. It's going to be a beautiful reading session, reading and discussion from the book Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers by Swami Prabhupada. So there will also be kirtans, there will be mantra meditation, discussion, and also at the end of the event, there will be prasadam feast. Please do not miss. Please do come and get your friends as well. 7 p.m. Sarvam Complex, second floor.